Now the next step we gotta do is we gotta put the injection pump back on this tractor. So, this injection pump that I know of has been rebuilt twice, probably 3 times in its life. We had a problem with it when we were running this bud probably 4 years ago, and so I had to take this, send it off, they rebuilt it, put it back on the tractor, or I put it back on the tractor. And then last year, as I was running it down the field, all of a sudden it blew something inside here, or a seal, I don't know what happened, but it was just puking diesel and it would not run. So I had to put the 450 injection pump on this tractor, which has probably got 8,000 hours on it, no joke. I mean, it's literally got probably that many hours, and to get us by. So it's set at 450 horse roughly is what that injection pump's set at. Well, we got it back. Let's put it back on there. Get it? Got it? Let's do an engine swap, or not engine swap, but injection swap. So, and obviously, some of this loom is going bad here. I need to clean it all up, tidy up with a couple things, and then we can go from there. I think it'll work. Turn the fuel on, start the tractor up, and do some brodies. Okay, I've got it all hooked up. Fuel is back on, so he's gonna get in there and try to see if it'll fire up and make sure no diesel sprays everywhere. And then drive this thing out of here and I guess put the duals on it.
There we go. So he just changed the injection pump. It's gonna take a second for it to prime fuel in it.
I think I'm going to help it along just a tiny bit with ether, because there's air trapped in the system. We got to try to bleed that out to get the fuel into the injection pump. Once the injection pump gets a little bit of that fuel out, it'll run just fine. But just a little shot to kind of get it to kick over a little faster. And you guys are like, don't do that! Turn on bad on the engine! It's going to make that thing ether hungry! Sorry to tell you, it's already ether hungry. So, it's not like we can do any worse. Okay, go ahead. There's a little shot. So far I don't see any diesel sprayed anywhere, so I think we're going to be okay on this point. You just never know when you crack open old fittings and you put them back on. Sometimes they don't like to be messed with and you find leaks.
There we go. Also just cleaned out the parking brake push-pull valve. That thing was nasty, so clean that all up. This actually does not have a what do you call it? I just talked about it. I don't want to say defroster. Dryer, air dryer. This tractor does not have an air dryer on it, surprisingly. Bud didn't have it. So I don't know why they don't have an air dryer on it. But we really need to put one on it. It would save the air system quite a bit. Doesn't have one. But anyways, cleaned it up so parking brake doesn't leak anymore. That's good. We checked underneath, no leaks. So far so good. New air throttle, new actuator, new injection pump. This thing should be ready to roll. We're gonna take it outside in a minute, do a little bit of pressure washing, and I put the duals back on. Oh, that feels nice. Way better than before. So we're idling about 600 RPM. Put it in reverse. It's gonna build up pressure, just starting to move.
Sounds pretty good. I like it. They did a good job on the injection pump, and it's stinky in here now. Gotta love it. All right, now that we got that thing going, he's gonna wash a little bit of the oil residue. There's some caps here on the floor I'm picking up. You're wondering why I'm doing what I'm doing. But anyways, he's gonna wash the rim off a little bit before we put the dual on. And that way, it's cleaner, easier to wash.
All we're gonna let it warm up a little bit, and then we gotta set our max throttle because we changed the linkage and everything. So we'll wait till it gets warm, and then I'm gonna throttle up all the way to high idle, and we'll hopefully get to around that 2 to 2100 RPM. And if that's good to go and the linkage looks correct, we'll call it good. If not, we'll do some adjusting. This new air throttle does let us adjust that a little bit here too, so we can move this nut up and down, and that'll set your start and stop. Like as of right now, that's about perfect for bottom. If I start to go up, see all that dead zone right there? I could get rid of that if I wanted to, right? See right there's where it starts to go. So I could eliminate all that right there if I wanted to. All right, let's do a throttle test here. Almost 2400 RPM. Right about there is our operating RPMs. Right there. That's 17, 18. Doesn't take much to adjust it. So almost 2400 is about 300 RPM too fast for this thing. We really don't want it to go much over 2000. 2100 is about right, so we got to adjust it a little bit fast. Pumps are rated for that. That's just not good. That's why we're testing it now. Huh. Why do we have that all apart? We'll find out soon enough.
Now I'm going to talk inside here because it's a little loud out there and the wind's blowing just slightly. And he's got the tractor running. So when he took the tractor out, I said, all right, I need you to throttle all the way up because on the side of the injection pump, you can adjust your throttle for full throttle and idle. And if you don't get that linkage right, you'll either not not throttle all the way up, or it won't idle and it'll be too high. That was all right, I got it right. But the problem was when he throttled it all the way up, the engine's supposed to be set at 2100 RPM max. It went to 2400. So the place they had rebuilt this injection pump, well, let's just say they had the set screw on the side of the injection pump set a little too high. On a diesel engine this big, you don't want to be wrapping those RPMs like that. That's just not a good idea. And there's two reasons. It's not good on the engine because all those valves and everything that's in there and the mechanical ejectors and all that stuff, just not a good idea. Two, the hydraulic pumps and the pump on the transmission are probably not rated for that higher RPMs. So if you go too high, you can blow things apart. So we adjusted it out there. So basically you got two screws on the side of the injection pump. There's one for a high and one for idle. That one right there, I took the cap off, adjusted it, screwed it in so that way we don't go too high. And the one over here, I didn't have to touch because the idle was correct. But so far it's been pretty good. But we still have a problem. It's still leaking a little bit of oil. The seal was bad, the yoke was bad, it had to be changed. But what do you think it is? It's leaking. It's leaking out of the housing of the transmission pressure pump. So we gotta take that pump off, take it somewhere and have someone fix it. I mean, it's got pressure, so the pump's working, but I tried tightening it and it's already really tight. So I think, what is that? 56 years, is that right? 46 years of time on this tractor has caused that pump to finally, the seals to go bad. So we need to fix that. The rest of it looks good on there. So fortunately that pump's on top and easy to take off, so that's a good thing. But we'll get this thing in the building first, get the duals on and get where we want it. Then we can lift the cab up, we can take it off in the other building, leave the cab up, get the pump fixed, put it back on it. That way it works better that way. That's the way. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and put the bud in the building. That's the plan. And then we'll take that pump off probably tomorrow, get it sent off right away so we get that process started. We gotta get big root out front too because we're gonna be working on that soon. So we'll get this in there, start a couple things, move a couple things around, and then move on to the other thing that is sitting there for whatever reason needs attention. And now with that new injection pump, this tractor's actually up in that 600 horsepower range again. But
I mean, you never know about the engine, how weak the engine is. At least the fuel system is rated for that now. Before, we only had 450 horse in this thing. It was still working, but 150 more horsepower, that's nice. Stinking toys, always in the way. Bigger building. All right. Brute, you're coming out first. Let's get you out of here. See if we can do it without the jump pack. Talking over to my brother, I think actually the smart move to do right now, rather than park this in there, is we got to get the pump off this thing, the hydraulic pump. It's been getting worse and worse. It's had issues since we've been running it. So we first did it, where it has low pressure until the oil warms up, and then it gets a pretty high pressure, and we've had to back up. One time I looked out there, it was almost 4,000 PSI, and we shut it down and got it corrected. But basically something's going on with the pressure pump in here, or load sensing pump, and it just doesn't maintain pressure very well depending on the temperature of the oil. That should be like that. So we got to get the pump off, take it to a hydraulic shop, and have them go through it and find out what is going on with that thing, because that's not normal. And it's really a not fun spraying, because if you have low pressure, that means your water pump isn't spinning as fast, which means your water pump pressure is not very high, it means your auto boom system isn't working very good. And sometimes I spray when it's cold out and it doesn't like to warm up. So that's something we got to get done. So it's going to go over here, and then we'll get it fixed. And that is a problem too. Yeah, we got to do something about that windshield. That happened. They don't make those anymore. Yeah, we'll figure something out. All right. Let's get to it. There it is. Oh, that pump originally came with this when this was a floater truck. The Case IH Titan 4375, I think is what it was. And they had this stacked with a big old hydrostatic pump that ran the spreaders for the fertilizer unit. This just ran the booms and some other stuff too. And we reused it, but it's been problematic ever since we put it on there. First time we took this big Brute out, when we first got it set up, we were in the shop, oil was cool, and we set the pressure, 2,800 PSI, good. Took out the fuel, we're cruising along, and I look out the window and it's like 4,200 PSI. Like, oh, we're gonna blow a hose. So we quickly shut it down, got it back, dropped the top pressure down with the adjustment on it, so we capped it at like 3,200, 3,000 PSI or some 3,400, somewhere in that area. But the problem is, when the oil's cool, you start up in the morning, you have like 2,200 PSI, and it barely even lifts the boom up. And it takes an hour or two, 3 hours sometimes to get that oil warm enough that you get to your pressure where you should be, and that messes up your flow. I already said this to you guys earlier. Bottom line is, we gotta get this taken in and figured out why is this thing doing that. All right, well now the next steps with Brute is, we were gonna do another thing instead of this, but this is kind of how it's just gonna work out. So when we custom built and topped this off the S1070 New Holland pull type spare that we had and attached it to the back end of the spray truck, and then eventually attach it to this cradle, tank cradle off a Terragator, there's not a lot holding these arms. It's just welded and bolted solid to the truck frame here, but up here this is moving. Now I don't know, maybe it could flex that much, but we had welded this Terragator frame to this post, and it started to crack down the backside. So then I plated it with this flat iron here, which was not thick enough, and it's cracking down it again. So then I welded that angle iron there to tie those two together, and it's still cracking. So we need to fix all that up. It's got to be built tougher, a lot more iron on it. Well, to do that, we need the tank off. So that's what Larry Arms is doing. He's pulling off these straps. So we're gonna take the digger derrick, we're gonna hook onto this tank. I don't know if we can get it off here. We welded a bunch of stuff, but we're gonna try to jockey it out and take it up and out and put it on the ground And then this will all be open, and then we can work inside there, clean up everything, fix the back end of that. I got some work to do up here. All right, let's get to it. All right, we got the straps off. All the plumbing is disconnected from the tank. The only thing that might be a problem is when I welded this brace across here between those two. See this part that sticks out of the tank? See how far it sticks out? Combination of that plus that brace we put across there to hold these cradles for the booms and the tank lid, we might run into an issue where we're like, can't go up. So as of right now, there's no way this tank can go up. So I'm hoping we'll have enough room to move it forward this way, tilt it, then pull it up and out. Otherwise, we gotta cut something. Probably that angle iron back here that I put on there. That's probably gotta go and be redesigned. Get the brood out of here. Pull a tank. We checked, nothing leaks oil when without that, with that pump off. So that's good. I drained the hydraulic tank down to about 1/3. So that way, there's enough fluid for the steering, because the steering pump's separate, but I don't have to worry about puking oil out the suction line of the pump. Hey, look at that. At least that works. That's good. All right, we're at leg arm setup base. Looks like in front of the shop. I know, loader, we got you all excited. Don't worry, buddy, we'll get to you. You just get distracted. We're really good at that.
I also need that other small one.
The other what?
That other small one.
Oh. We determined we gotta cut that angle iron I welded on there. There's no way it's gonna work without it. That sun is just perfect, isn't it? There we go. Get this down so we don't drop it, just in case.
Oh, hold on. Coming up next, we're outside Shelby, Montana. We're going to be talking with the Welker Farms, right? Yep.
Why is it shaking?
You guys are like, it's earthquake.
Well, I mean, I did sit down.
I think it's the stabilizer.
We're going to find out what it's like to farm up north.